Morning Art Putney Academy, and welcome back to the first full week of teaching. My assembly this morning is entitled Reasons to be Cheerful, and it's going to look at the fact that during a crisis, positive things can actually happen. COVID is definitely the biggest crisis that we've faced since the two world wars. However, a crisis can be an opportunity for mankind and society to advance. As Martin Luther King says, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. After the two world wars, huge advancements have been made, particularly because of those wars. For example, the NHS, advancements in plastic surgery after the First World War, and even the development of comprehensive education, which came about because during the Second World War it was realised that Britain needed to be better educated. So building on that theme, out of crisis always comes hope. Troubled eras have always inspired positive human progress, and this year and this crisis is no different. And there are certainly lots of things to be cheerful about. We are also developing our understanding of new and old viruses. As you are aware, the COVID-19 vaccinations has captured the world's attention. It's really fantastic that we have a vaccination in place, and it is really a miracle of science. But what you might not know, behind the scenes, researchers have also developed a vaccination for one of the biggest killers across the globe in the last 30 years, which is HIV. The new HIV vaccination can be given to women to stop the spread of HIV. And this is a major medical achievement that has been developed in a time of crisis. Alongside the advancements in science are the advancements by human beings. When the great become good. Look at Marcus Rashford. He's made a huge impact on British society with his campaign for free school meals, and many other people like him have followed in using their celebrity to create a public voice for certain campaigns. The pandemic has also created an opportunity for a time to reflect and think about what matters and start to make positive changes. These are 4 examples. Firstly, there's the issue of Black Lives Matters. During the summer, because of the actions of the police in America, we have become more aware that there still remains a great deal of racial inequality in society. Secondly, as this map shows, we've also been aware through the pandemic and the closing down of societies and the restrictions on travel and air travel in particular, how much pollution has been caused and how changing the way that we do things could have an impact. Sadly, we've also become aware that even as a First Nation, Britain has a real problem with inequality and poverty, and that we are relying far too much on food banks. And finally, we have become aware of the achievement gap through the lockdown of education, and that minority and less well-off students have struggled with lockdown and with accessing education, and whilst rich and privileged people have actually made more progress. At Art Putney, we've tried to address the achievement gap through improving our digital technology. We as a community have got better at using technology to learn. Since May, teachers have been working hard to upskill themselves in using Microsoft Teams to teach, and you have been training yourselves and being trained in using Microsoft Teams. When you think back to where we were in March, when we sent you home with workbooks to learn in, this is a completely different situation today. We can now actually provide you with 6 lessons a day remotely, which means that you won't fall behind. I want to talk a little bit about how we can make the remote learning work even more. And I'm going to focus on attendance, participation and behaviour. First of all, you can demonstrate your pillar skills through all three of these. Attendance, just a reminder, tutor time every morning starts at 8:30 and you are going to be expected to be present for 6 lessons per day. All lessons every day for the entire lesson. Secondly, behaviour. Tone, time and place is really important on the chat and on the camera and on the mic. Your camera should be on and your microphone off unless specifically told otherwise. And we will still be using that C system and you still can be parked. The difference is that you will just be excluded from the lesson from the digital platform. And the third thing, and this is probably the most important thing, is participation. We need you to fully participate, not only following all instructions, but completing the tasks and asking and answering questions. You need to hand in your work as well so that we know how engaged and how well you are doing. So why does remote education matter so much? Well, we don't know what's going to happen with exams this year or in the future. We know that year 13 and 11 exams have been cancelled, but we know that there is going to be some form of teacher assessment in place. We know that all students are learning online across the country, and you will be competing with these students for places at university and jobs in the future. And universities and employers will not allow people to use this period as an excuse for low grades. But you also owe it to yourself to give yourself the best possible life chances, and education is the best way to have choices as an adult. At some point we will be back in school, and nobody wants to come back and find that they are behind. So, although you may not be in school with your friends and your teachers, the online digital learning does provide a reason for you to get up in the morning, and it does create an opportunity for you to continue with your learning. So there certainly are reasons to be cheerful. Have a good week and enjoy the digital learning.